There are moments when you look at the world and you realize something is shifting. Something is changing right in front of our eyes. A generation once ignored is now shaping global conversation. And sometimes it takes just one person, just one energy, one personality so vibrant that you can't even ignore. You've seen him everywhere. You've heard his voice echo in your feet. You've smiled at his joy, laughed at his joke, and maybe even learned a thing or two from his influence. Welcome back to my channel, family. And if you are new here, this is where we dive deep into the biggest stories in entertainment, lifestyle, and culture, breaking them down in a way that is not just informative, but also fun and relatable. So don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and also turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of these exciting updates. And now, today's gist is about none other than Enioluwa, the sensation, the influencer, the creative mind, and the global personality that is putting Nigeria and Africa on the map in the most refreshing way possible. But before we even talk about Paris, La Roche-Posay, or that caption, let's start with the man himself, Enioluwa, popularly known as the Beauty Boy or simply Eni. Is not your regular content creator. This young man has built a brand so powerful that he has become one of Africa's most recognizable Gen Z voices. From his early days of creating witty, fun, and highly relatable content, Eni carved a niche for himself in an industry that can sometimes feel repetitive. He didn't try to copy others, he came with his own flavor. And let's be honest, there is something about Eni that makes people stop scrolling. It could be his humor, it could be the way he dances, or maybe it's just his energy. That's unique ability to make you feel like he's talking directly to you. But beyond the laugh and the glamour, Eni is also a deep thinker. He's a PhD student and a public speaker. He's also a brand ambassador. And trust me, most importantly, a bridge between Nigerian youth culture and global influence. Eni started like many content creators on Instagram, Twitter, sharing their thoughts, his funny takes, his personality. But unlike many, he found a way to cut through the noise. He wasn't just posting content, but he was building a movement. Fast forward to now, Eni is no longer just a Nigerian influencer. He is a global ambassador for African creativity. He's been seen at international fashion weeks, luxury brand events, and cultural festivals around the world. And just a few days ago, he was in the Paris celebration La Roche-Posay 50th anniversary, one of the most respected dermatological skincare brand in the world. Let's talk about this event. The La Roche-Posay, for those who may not know, is not just any skincare brand. It is trusted by dermatologists across the globe, famous for creating products that caters to sensitive skins, acne-prone skins, and overall skincare health. For them to hit 50 years in the game is a massive achievement. And who did they invite, guys? Celebrities, beauty experts, and global influencers from across the world. Guess who was representing Nigeria and Africa? Enioluwa. Now, this is a huge success because it's not just about skincare, it is about representation. It is about seeing a young African that may be recognized on the same level as global influencer. It shows the world that Africa is not lagging behind. Africa is there, and our voice are loud enough to be heard on every single stage. But here is where things get even more interesting because Enioluwa posted this picture from the event, looking stylish as always, and he wrote a caption that made people stop. Now here is the caption. It reads that you always find Eni in a dash. Fill in the gap for me. Now let's ask you guys, my audience, how would you fill in that gap? Because honestly, when I saw it, the first thing that came to my mind was food. Yes, food. Why? Because Eni has mastered the art of making food content fun. Like, he has created skits around food, reactions around food, and even partnerships that involved food. And we all know one thing for sure. If there is food anywhere, then there is Eni. But maybe for you, it might not be food. Maybe you would say you always find Eni in a fun room, full of laughter and love, or in a place where there's lots of conversations that matters or interesting things, or maybe somewhere that is fashion, skincare, just like you found in, or beauty, any one of it. It was not just playful, guys, it was a mirror, and it's meant just reflect on what we see when we think of him. But let's be real, Eni and food have always become like 5 and 6. I mean, if there is a brand launch, he is the first to try out the buffet. If there's a dinner event, he's going to give one commentary on the dishes. And if there's amala, jollof rice, or small chops, you already know who is seated in front row. But what makes it even better is how we bring class and humor together. It can be at the fanciest Paris event, but it still makes a joke about the food and instantly remind you that he is a Nigerian to call. That is power. It balances being relatable with being aspirational. You see him as luxury brand events, but you also feel like you could sit down and gist with him overseer at a local joint. Let's pause and think about this for a second. What does it mean that Enioluwa was invited to Paris for the La Roche-Posay 50th anniversary? It means global brands are starting to recognize the value of African voices. They are starting to say that influence is not just built in Hollywood or Europe, it is thriving in Lagos, Abuja, Accra, Nairobi, and anywhere else. It also means that young people can be themselves and still make it, cause Enioluwa never pretended to be someone else. He didn't fake his accent, he didn't hide his comedy or his lifestyle. He leaned into what he is, and the world fell in love with him. Just think back to some of his earlier content, the witty faces expression, the over-the-top reaction, the simple everyday jokes about food, beauty, or Nigerian lifestyle. Those were not just videos, they were cultural snapshots. And now, those same little videos have opened doors to global fashion show, skincare anniversary, and international campaign. And trust me, some of the reasons why people actually love Eni is because he's relatable. He feels like a friend, he's authentic, he doesn't try too hard, he's consistent, he keeps showing up everywhere, and he's diverse from beauty to food to fashion. He keeps evolving. And that is why when you post something like "you will find Eni in a dash," it resonates so deeply because everyone feels like they already know the answer. So let me throw the question back at you guys. If you had to fill the gap, how would you fill it? You will find Eni in a dash. What will it be? Is it food? Is it fashion? Is it laughter? Is it good vibes? Drop your answer in the comments below. Let's see how well you know him. And at the end of the day, Enioluwa at the La Roche-Posay 50th anniversary is bigger than just one influencer at one event. It is a reminder of how creativity can take you. It is a proof that being authentic is enough. It is a proof that Africa is not reason to be invited to be on the table anymore. Africa is already at the table. So whether you find any in food, in laughter, in fashion, or in love, one thing is certain, you will always find him spreading joy, representing Nigeria proudly, and reminding us that dreams are valid. And that's where we wrap today's gist up. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Enioluwa's journey and his Paris adventure, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any more updates. Until next time, keep shining, keep dreaming, and keep celebrating African excellence.